Greetings everyone, Joseph James here from schooltrade.com in a special three-part video series. This is the 3 steps to your trading success. How do we make it so easy to learn our methods, our entry rules, how to get into the market, out of the market, guys? We try to break it down as simple as possible. So 3 simple steps: entry pattern, entry rules, your confirmation trigger, and of course, getting into your trade. Now, of course, guys, there are lots of different things to choose when you're a trader, especially with a new trader, right? Lots of different markets, different time frames to trade, all kinds of chaos going on, right? In fact, I remember when I was a new trader, one of the first things that made it so difficult was that everything looked to be moving so quickly. So of course we've got different markets, right? The E-minis, the currencies, commodities, fixed income, different ways to trade. You could be a scalper, a day trader, a position trader, or a swing trader. So of course with all these options, how do we know which one's going to be best as a trader? Do we trade around different support and resistance levels, right? Do we use Fibonacci's? Do we use pivot points? Do we use moving averages, right? Do we trade breakouts or failed breakouts? Do we buy pullbacks? Are we trading at the open or at the close during news events? Guys, there are so many variables for a brand new trader to decide. Guys, it's no wonder most traders are unsuccessful. I remember what it felt like when I was a new trader almost 10 years ago, and I know you guys feel the same way. So how do we make it easy for you guys to be able to, of course, learn this stuff and apply it in a real-time environment? All right, how do we do it? Well, guys, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Now, again, we're talking about the 3 steps to success here, guys. So the first step is to watch for patterns. Right? Watch for patterns. Very simple. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Start off the first step watching for patterns. I'm going to find an important price level. Right? That's the first job. First, I've got to go out in the market and find an important level. Now, we have that job made a whole lot easier for us because our auto levels indicator goes out and finds all those important levels for us and then brings them back so we can just simply look for them on the charts. Right? So it finds all the levels for us. Once we find those levels, then we watch for our 3 patterns: the wave pattern, the breaker pattern, and the 2-step pattern. So again, the 3-step success: entry pattern first. Let's take a look at some of those patterns. Now, this is a wave pattern, one of our higher percentage patterns because it trades with the trend, a trend continuation pattern. And what you guys can see here is we're going to be buying pullbacks on a rising trigger line. Now, here's my trigger line, right? This yellow line here. Okay, so a rising trigger line. Now, these red lines, right, these red lines here, these are automatically located by our auto levels indicator. Once we break above those lines, right, break above the red line, I'm looking for a rising trigger line here, and I'm buying a pullback, right? It's a very simple pattern, very simple pattern. Now, we'll go on top of that and provide some rules for you guys, but what I want you guys to understand, first of all, is what the pattern looks like. So we're buying a pullback. The same thing would be true by shorting a retracement, right? It's a falling trigger line or a rising trigger line. The key here is the wave pattern is a trend continuation pattern, right? We want to see a nice strong trend up, and we're buying pullbacks along the way. Very simple pattern. We, of course, use filters, those mechanical rules, to make sure that these pullbacks are not reversals, but we'll talk more about that in the future. So, next pattern. Now we, of course, have the breaker pattern. Now you can see, guys, the breaker pattern going to be a little bit earlier than the wave pattern. Now the breaker pattern still use a rising trigger line. Okay, rising trigger line. But instead of waiting for the pullback, we're going to take a break above this swing high level. And the swing high level is marked up on our charts every single time it moves. So it automatically locates the red lines. It automatically locates this blue swing high level. And of course, we then take the break above that swing high for our breaker pattern to the long side. Again, want to see a nice steep slope to our trigger line. Want to make sure we have the rest of our rules pointing in the right direction. And guys, that's the pattern for the breaker. So we talked about the wave, the breaker, and now the final here is a counter trend trade pattern called the 2-step pattern. And the 2-step pattern is one of my favorites. It's a trend reversal. And what will usually happen here is we'll have the short-term trend will be down. Okay, we'll see some sort of support here. Again, all the support and resistance levels are marked up automatically for us on our charts, courtesy of our indicator package. Now you'll notice, guys, when we get this bounce, we'll mark up our swing high here, right? This swing high right in the center here. And once we break above that swing high, right, there's your entry for your 2-step pattern long. So short-term trend is down. We see some support settle in, right? Get that bounce off support. Mark up our swing high there, the blue line, the swing high. Once we break above that swing high, right, there's your 2-step pattern long counter trend trade. All right, guys, so we've got 3 patterns, right? 3 patterns. We have the wave pattern. That uses, right, we're buying pullbacks, shorting retracements. We have the breaker pattern where we're taking breakouts. And then we have the 2-step pattern, which is ultimately a breaker pattern failure. So if whenever we don't have the breakout successful, if we have a failed breakout, that's going to be our two-step pattern in the opposite direction. All right, guys. So in conclusion, right, the first step to your success is locating your important levels first and then watch for sample patterns, right? Watch for your simple patterns. Now, what's up next? This is the first video. The second video will come out later on this week. We talked about entry patterns. We'll look for the entry rules next, and hopefully we can put together these 3 steps to success. Once again, guys, make sure you guys come out and join us tomorrow morning in our live trade room. My name is Joseph James. Hope the video helps. We're learning our 3 steps to success. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now.